Hey guys, welcome to Physioverse. I am Dia and this is the lecture series in which we are learning about motor learning. So this is part 2 of this, and in this video we'll be seeing different types of memories and different types of learning. And yes, we will be discussing about the Big Bang Theory and these really interesting posts which show that how people in real life have used the concepts of different types of learnings. So that's really interesting. Other than that, if you have not seen our first video or if you don't have an idea about motor learning, you can go check out our first video. The first video is barely a 7-8 minute video. Like if you want to just see the content, it's from 3 minutes to the 10th minute. So within 7 minutes you'll be able to understand what motor learning is, what are its concepts and everything. So check out that video and let's start with the part 2 of motor learning. So now understanding a little more about long-term memories. So long-term memories is again divided into two types, which is declarative or explicit memory and non-declarative or implicit memory. So now coming to implicit memory or non-declarative memory. So based on this, there are three different types of learning which occur. That is non-associative type of learning, which is divided into habituation and sensitization. Then there is associative form of learning, which is divided into classical conditioning and operant conditioning. And the next one is procedural learning. So now we'll be seeing non-associative forms of learning. So non-associative forms of learning occur when a single stimulus is given repeatedly. So it again has two types, that is habituation and sensitization. So it's quite easy to understand what it could be. Habituation is obviously something that you're getting used to, and sensitization is something that once you get sensitized to it, your response to it changes. Something happens which makes you change your response to it. So first we'll see habituation in detail. So habituation is decrease in responsiveness that occurs as a result of repeated exposure to a non-painful stimulus. So as the name suggests, as it is explained, that if a non-painful stimulus is given repeatedly, eventually the response to it gets decreased. So one way of understanding habituation in a patient scenario is when we are treating patients in having vestibular disorders, like if vestibular habituation exercise is given to them. When we give patients the habituation exercise, eventually that their responsiveness to that decreases. So they are able to tolerate, if they are not able to tolerate certain positions or change in position, when we repeatedly expose them to that, their responsiveness to like dizziness and all that reduces eventually. One example is again children having tactile defensiveness. If we slowly or gradually increase the cutaneous stimulus given to them, eventually their sensitivity to it decreases because they get habituated, so they don't respond as strongly as they did before. So the next type of non-associative form of learning is sensitization. So sensitization is increased responsiveness following a threatening or noxious stimulus. So this is again something like if we have if you're getting, it's like something that can happen after habituation. If you're getting a non-noxious stimulus for a while, you won't have much response to it, but the minute you get a noxious stimulus, you will react to it in an amplified manner. So that is what sensitization is. So one way of understanding sensitization is when you get a noxious cutaneous stimulus, your response to a normal stimulus is also so amplified. Like if you get a noxious, like a pinprick sort of a sensation, and then if anybody is even coming to touch you or something lightly brushes against your body or your arm, you react to it in an amplified manner. That is because you are sensitized to it because of one noxious stimulus. You are sensitized and your response to other non-noxious stimulus is also increased. So one way of understanding this in the patient scenario is suppose a patient who has a slight balance issues is walking on a curb or something on a regular basis, and one day if they happen to slip and fall, or if anything like that happens, the next day they are more cautious about it. They have an increased responsiveness there where they can be afraid of doing it, or they might not, or they might take some precautions before that. So that is sensitization. Because of that one noxious stimulus or one bad incident, now they are more cautious, or their responsiveness to everything has increased. So basically sensitization can counteract the effect of habituation. So again, to understand this, suppose you're treating a patient and you're like teaching them how to, like you're rehabilitating them to walk. So suppose they have had balance issues and everything, but now you've made them confident enough to not get scared or not lose their balance. So basically, after a lot of training and after a lot of stimulus, they have they are having a decreased responsiveness. Like they are not that afraid, they are not losing their balance and everything of that sort. But after that, if one noxious stimulus, like if they tend to lose their balance or they fall by any chance, then that acts like a sensitization and it counteracts the effects of habituation. Then it can be like they'll be more cautious, they'll be more afraid, they might not respond the same way again. Like it might take them time to get back to what you had gained. So in that way, sensitization kind of counteracts the effect of habituation. One way of understanding this non-associative form of learning or habituation and sensitization in a real life scenario is, if you're sitting and chilling and your mom just comes and tells you to do something. So initially, like maybe when you were young and when you were scared of your mom, if she said something, you would do it immediately. Like the first time she says that, okay, go clean your room, you would immediately go and clean your room. But it's not noxious or a painful stimulus. Now it's not something that stresses you out. So you're habituated to it. So even if your mom says it like 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, every time, like initially she said it the first time and you would do something. Now it's like even if she says 5 times, you won't move. Now it's like if she comes and she shouts, maybe if it's like after a lot of times, if she shouted 10 times, then you might go respond to it. So that is habituation, like your decreased responsiveness to a non-painful stimulus. Then habituation is that one day when she loses her temper and she'll give you a nice jharpad, or she'll come and hit you or be like, I'm going to tell your father today, something like that. That painful stimulus, something that you fear, like she'll say that I'm going to take your phone away, I'm going to cut the Wi-Fi, you can't go out, anything like a painful stimulus, that's something that's going to trouble you. Then you're sensitized to it, then you will immediately react to it and you'll react in a better way. Like the next day she won't even have to ask you to clean your room. You will clean it before she says anything because you're sensitized to it. So another way of remembering this or understanding this concept is like, when we always have this one professor who's really sweet and really nice, who just comes and teaches in the class, who's not very strict. So even if you go late to their class, they just let you come in. That there's always this one professor which students will be very chill. Achha, it's this professor's class, you can go around, say they'll take you in and everything of that sort. So eventually you kind of get habituated to it. You just push their limits. Like, pehle you will go like a few seconds late. Now slowly your responsiveness is decreasing even more because there is nothing painful happening. You're not losing attendance, you're not shouting. So you'll like push it to, acha, now 1 minute late, now 2 minutes late, like 5 minutes late, everything of that sort. So that is habituation, your decreased responsiveness because there is no painful stimulus happening. And then sensitization to that is that one day when the teacher just is like, enough, I'm going to mark you absent, or they don't let you attend the class, or they are like, I'm not going to take you inside, everything of that sort. When that happens, like everyone knows, losing attendance especially is the most painful thing. So uske baad, next day say you're 5 minutes early in their class. That is sensitization, increased responsiveness to a painful stimulus. So this, I hope, helps you understand habituation and sensitization. If you have some fun examples like these, please leave it down in the comments and it will be really fun to read.